Yo, what's up, guys? So, which workers do you think are most satisfied with their pay? Well, a recent LinkedIn article tried to answer this question, and so we're going to jump into this article right now. So, the title of this article says, The Workers Happiest with Their Pay. It says, nearly half of US workers, 49%, feel that they are well compensated for the work they do, but that percentage varies widely depending on the job function, according to new survey data from LinkedIn's Workforce Confidence Index. Product managers, 62% of whom feel well compensated, take the cake when it comes to exactly who is happiest with their paychecks. They're followed by engineers, 60%, real estate professionals, 59%, project managers, 58%, and then consultants, 57%. Meanwhile, educators at 39%, entrepreneurs, 41%, and social service workers, 43%, were the least likely to feel well compensated. And so here's the actual article if you guys want to check it out. Money matters. Workers with these careers are happiest with their paychecks. But before we get into more of the article, I just want to look at the methodology of how they did this. It looks like LinkedIn's confidence index scores based on a quantitative online survey distributed members via email. Roughly 5,000 US-based members responded. Okay, so it's only the US workers that actually responded to the survey. We analyze data in aggregate and will always respect member privacy. Data is weighed by engagement level to ensure fair representation of various activity levels on the platform. The results represent the world as seen through the lens of LinkedIn's membership. Variances between LinkedIn's membership and the overall market population are not counted for. All right, so they're only looking at LinkedIn users, right? Now, whether it's the premium users or the free users, I don't think it talks about that or goes into detail, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they didn't have any bias built into the survey questions or misrepresented the numbers or tried to influence them in any certain way. So I'm going to take them at face value. It looks like one of the respondents said that, hey, becoming a product manager changed my life. Says El Amin. 5 years ago, she was a struggling college student who support her liberal arts degree. And now she's a thriving young professional with a six-figure salary that helps her live the life she's always dreamed about, from investing to traveling frequently. And it says, okay, so then product managers take the cake when it comes to exactly who is happiest with their paychecks. The study was done between June 4th and September 9th of this year, with 32,000 American professionals being asked if they felt well compensated for the work they do, and nearly half, 49% of them, said yes. Responses varied based on people's line of work. Those with certain job functions are far happier with their pay than others, as shown in the chart. Beyond PM, 62% of whom feel well compensated. Those with careers in engineering and consulting, project management, real estate prove to be the most satisfied with their compensation. All right, so here's the actual chart of the top 15 roles that met or exceeded the average. All right, so I'm just taking a look at this list. It looks like most of these job functions are going to be either in technology or financial services, which is not surprising. And I would say that most of these roles, you probably need at least at a minimum an undergraduate degree or a master's degree. They're also pretty difficult to get into. I mean, I'll just say it right off the bat, especially when you want to go work at the top tier companies in these types of job functions. There's so much competition. And so even just getting in, there's a high barrier of entry. And so because of that, there's also probably going to be much higher, compensation expectations and, companies willing to shell out more for these sort of demanding competitive roles. These roles are also what helps build the products and services that companies have. These are, I would say, pretty critical roles that companies need in order to succeed. It doesn't mean that other roles aren't important. It's just that, hey, these are sort of the roles that help sort of drive innovation and development of new products. All right, so let's keep reading the article. Some of these careers are tied to tech and financial services, which we talked about, industries that are known to pay well, while others, like careers in real estate, depend on what you put into it. Commission earnings, for example, can really boost a paycheck. Yeah, I mean, there's agents out there that, make 50K, 100K, whatever. But I mean, if you're selling Sunset or if you're selling the OC or these crazy real estate shows on Netflix, I mean, those commissions can be, 3 to 6% on a single family house that's $1 million, $10 million, $20 million. So you can do the math and see how much a lot of these real estate professionals are making from even just a single sale. So continuing going on, those with careers that aren't tied to private entities with as many resources don't feel as well compensated. Educators, unsurprisingly, are the least satisfied with their paycheck. Just 39% of educators reported feeling well compensated. Many have already quit in search of higher paying roles in other industries amid the pandemic. Entrepreneurs and social service workers round out the three job functions least likely to feel well compensated. I mean, it's no surprise, guys. I mean, if you're not making the money that you think you deserve, you're not going to be happy and you're probably going to want to leave that industry. It's interesting seeing entrepreneurs here because, I mean, the reality is most businesses fail. And that's why I think it's probably skewing more towards those entrepreneurs where they think they have a great idea, they go to market and the product tanks. And so they're probably not going to be very happy when they have to shut their doors or they stop getting funding from their investors. But there obviously are entrepreneurs who do very, very well, but that's still, I would say, a very small minority. Coincidentally, these groups of workers are also among the least likely to ask for a raise anytime soon. The article also says here, engineers who are the second happiest with their compensation also agree that pay transparency will lead to pay equality for the most part, 54%. Take Karen Maddox, for example. All of the men working for me made more than I did doing the same role I had been performing. That amount of transparency made a 20% difference in my pay. Elamin is also a big fan of pay transparency. She's built a network of women on TikTok and product management who are leveraging salary transparency to get ahead at work. Yeah, I mean, pay transparency, I think, is something that is actively being discussed. I think I read an article recently that talked about how California is also trying to encourage employers or make it more mandatory that JDs make that information public up front. So there's no surprise whether you're a man or a woman applying for a job. But I also think the reason for pay gaps is because a lot more men are going into the more demanding, more competitive industries and job functions. They also tend to negotiate a lot harder with HR and hiring managers when they're going through the whole negotiation process. So I think that's also one of the reasons, but I do think overall pay transparency is something that's important for leveling the playing field. The article also kind of talks about how a fatter paycheck isn't everything. It says that there's a deeper fulfillment to their jobs when they feel challenged to come up with creative solutions or feeling proud of seeing a new product idea through to implementation. Oh yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, if you're in a job where you're just cranking out spreadsheets or documentations and you're not really having a huge impact, but you're still making good money, I mean, those people are going to get bored with their job pretty quick and either rest and vest, as they like to call it in the industry, or just mail it in on a daily basis and not really go above and beyond. But if you're given a lot of autonomy, if you're given a lot of creative freedom to call your own shots and feel like you're empowered, then having a high paycheck is only going to be just the icing on the cake. Those types of people in those types of roles are going to do the best work, in my opinion. It also says job fulfillment is essential, but that doesn't mean your pay shouldn't keep rising each year. Feeling well compensated by her means being able to maintain and elevate your lifestyle. Inflation rose 8.3% year over year last month. Standard yearly raises like that won't cover how much more expensive goods and services are getting, making it more difficult for some to feel good about their compensation packages. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Inflation is a problem. It's a problem for every company, every industry, every job function. Some types of jobs will have higher pay increases because of the demand. And so companies will have to constantly offer additional incentives to hire more attractive talent, especially in those niche areas where they're looking for data scientists or people who know machine learning or artificial intelligence. I mean, there's just only so many people out there in the talent market to help contribute and build those services. So certain jobs are going to demand a higher salary and compensation, but that's just standard across the board. Yeah, not a whole lot of surprises here, guys, with this article. You know, my personal experience as being a product manager, I mean, before I even joined PM, I was making a certain amount and I thought that it was good for the first couple of years. And then of course I was like, hey, how do I increase my income? How do I take it to the next level? And I do know that PMs, for the most part, are making pretty good money. There's also a website called levels.fyi. If you guys go to the levels.fyi website, it does a really good job of sort of giving you guys sort of a range of what to expect when you join product management. So for example, you can select the product manager role here and you can select all these different types of companies. LinkedIn, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, I think are kind of the major ones. But, you know, even just starting out as an associate product manager, you know, you can make anywhere from, you know, it says here 202,000 is sort of the estimate for LinkedIn. At Amazon, you can start out making 172. At Microsoft, 165,000, Google, 171 as an associate. And this is just the starting point, guys. You know, as you gain more experience and have a few successful launches under your belt, I mean, other companies are going to be constantly pinging you on LinkedIn. I can tell you from experience that as a product manager for Electronic Arts and now, of course, at Amazon, I'm still getting hit up on a daily basis from companies looking to poach me. And so PM, I think from personal experience, definitely has a lot of demand for their services, depending on what type of products you've worked on and what companies you've also been at. But I would say for those who are looking to find a job that gives you a lot of creative freedom, a lot of problem solving opportunities, and also high compensation, I would definitely say PM is one of those roles. Now, it also is going to depend on where you're located and whether or not you're going to be remote or working in, let's say, New York City or California, the Bay Area, or like Seattle. But for the most part, I think PMs get compensated pretty well, especially compared to a lot of the job functions in tech and also non-tech. Anyways, guys, those are kind of my personal thoughts on it. I'm personally glad to see PMs up there on the list, but I'm also not surprised to see consultants, engineers, data scientists, and some of the other more technical roles there. My advice for you guys, if you're a student and you're still in school, I would say try to get a degree in STEM And if you're an experienced professional, you can also go get a master's degree, an MBA, or a coding bootcamp, or just learn it on your own if you really want to pivot and get into one of these more sort of lucrative fields. Anyways, guys, those are my personal thoughts on this article. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.